May gives us some backstory on how she ended up in Texas. Check out this story time. Super interesting.
Ooh, hold on, y'all. Ooh, this itchy. Okay, so originally I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, right? So I'm from the South originally, and I got shipped to California when my mother got murdered, right? So when my mama got murdered, I was shipped to California with the man that I didn't find out for sure was my dad till I was 37 years old. I didn't find out for sure. No, that's when I found out they was married. Him and my mom was married when I was 37. I found out two 2 years ago when I was 40, almost 3 years ago now, I think. 40 or 41. I found out that he was really my father. So I didn't find out until I had went to Cali that he was really my father. Okay, so anyway, that's a whole nother story. Those that know have already heard it. Some people haven't, whatever the case may be. So I got shipped to California because my mother got murdered, right? To a man that I was told wasn't my father my whole life up until 10, almost 11 years old. My mama got murdered right before my birthday. So I was sent out there right before my 11th birthday. My mama got killed April 10th. My birthday is May 5th. So right before my birthday, I was shipped out there. That was my dad. I was always told that that was Nita dad, not my dad. You know, found out when I was 40 or 41 that that really was my dad. Really biologically, he was my father. So anyway, like I said, that's another story. But I lived in California off and on most of the rest of my life from um so I went out there when I was well right before my 11th birthday, literally just say from 11 to 12 I stayed in Cali, went back to Arkansas, stayed in Arkansas till 14 right before I turned 15, and I came back to Cali because Nita got in a car accident. That's what led Nita to be disabled, was her car accident, right? So Nita was born, regular like everybody else until her car accident. So I went back to California because Nita got in a car accident and they said she wasn't gonna make it. So I went to go see her in the hospital, and I went to go see her in the hospital. She made it, but that's the only reason why I went back to California, was because of my sister. So I didn't want to leave my sister once she made it and they pulled the plug. I just couldn't see myself leaving her. Like Nita was my dog. Like we was like this when we wasn't. We was like this, then we wasn't. But no matter what, that was my big sister. And no matter how crazy she was, that was my big sister. That was my dog. And I just couldn't see myself walking away and letting life just pass us by, and I just don't go see my sister, and I'll be all the way in Arkansas and my sister stuck in a hospital in California. Like I don't feel like my mama would have been cool with that. I feel like my mama would have been like, you better make sure your sister okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always lived in my head since my mama got killed, and maybe my mama wouldn't even have wanted me to do half of the things that I think I did because I thought my mama would want me to do it. But I would always feel like my mama would want me to do this, or my mama would want me to do that, or my mama would expect me to do this, or, that, or whatever the case may be. So I always thought that, what would my mama want me to do? Would my mama want me to walk away from her child, knowing that she can't be there and take care of her child, and her child is laid up in the hospital bed, with brain damage, and she may make it, she may not make it. Like, um, would would my mama want me to? Y'all can ask questions when I'm done, because I'm telling a story right now. I get sidetracked too easy. So I just always felt like my mama wouldn't want me to to just desert her. You know, I felt like I would just be walking out on her and deserting her because my mama did. So who gonna make sure she all right? You know, and that was my sister. So, um, I stayed out there, and then I had my daughter. I moved to Alabama with, chasing behind my baby daddy, and went out there for about a year, and then came back to Cali again. Then after that, I ended up getting Nita. I went to jail, got out of jail, tried to change my life, and then, my daddy died, and then I got Nita out the hospital, and then I felt like it would be better for Nita to live at home than to be in the hospital because I mean, I just feel like people do better with their family than they would do in a hospital. And why she got to stay in the hospital anyway? If it ain't gonna kill her to come home, then let her come home. That's how I felt. So I felt like, what difference is it gonna make if she stay in the hospital if she ain't hooked up to no machine versus her being at home, you know? So that's just how I looked at it. I felt like she would like it better being at home around people that she actually know love her versus strangers. And I'm not saying that all the people at the hospital treated her bad or that they didn't care about her, but they didn't love her like I do because that's my sister. And I just felt like maybe it would make her not depressed, or maybe it would make her like want to live, or maybe it would make her have hope, or maybe it would make her fight harder. I wanted her to walk again. I didn't fully understand that that was never going to happen. I thought that maybe she could heal and she would walk again one day. I had a lot of wishful thinking throughout my life, and just thought that maybe, just maybe, her willpower would be stronger than whatever was stopping her from walking. Mind you, I'm younger than Nita, so when I first knew about her wreck, I was only 14, turning 15. So I really didn't understand like the wreck and like what really happened, or what was really damaged of her body, or what made what happen, or not work or whatever. Whatever. I didn't really understand the ins and the outs of, you know, what damage was actually done to her body. I didn't fully understand it yet at that time. So um I took care of Nita 17 years. I lived in California pretty much. I mean, I left a couple times, for a year here, a year there, but I'll come right back to California. And when my dad died and I got out of jail, when I got out of jail, my dad died. And I said, as soon as I found out he died, I was like, I'm bringing her home. So I went to the hospital. I trained. I got signed off by the doctors there at the hospital that they felt like I was able to take care of her and I was trained enough to take care of her. So I brought her home. I took care of Nita. We stayed in California and I took care of her. I moved her to Arkansas. What year was that? I don't remember what year. What year was it? 2011, maybe 12. I don't know, somewhere in there. And when we moved to Arkansas, I took her with me, and we stayed out there a year, and then came back to Cali. Hey, blasted. And I took remained, kept taking care of Anita, and I took care of other people too. And I was just sick of being there. And I wanted to leave because I had already been leaving back and forth. And when I left with Nita and went to Arkansas, I was scared to leave after that because Arkansas didn't have what she needed to take care of her. Arkansas didn't have the doctor she needed. Arkansas didn't have the care she needed. Arkansas just didn't have what she needed, period. So when I went back to Cali, I was like, I know where everything is in Cali. I know her doctors in Cali. I know where to get her medical supplies in Cali. I knew where everything was for her in Cali. So I like, it's best I just stay here then. But you know how you just get, well, maybe y'all don't get it, but I do. I get anxious and I be like, I need something different in my life. Like I need to go and try something new, or I need to go somewhere new, or I need to go and maybe buy something, or I need to get out of here, or maybe it's time to move, or maybe it's time to just start all over. So I'm not scared to move to another state and start all over. I'm not scared to go anywhere. I'm not scared to start fresh nowhere. I'm not. So I was like, I was sitting on my bed and I'll never forget. I used to wake up every morning like 9 years ago, and I used to say, I'm supposed to be rich. This ain't it. Me doing hair every day, all day, this ain't it. This ain't what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like this ain't what I see myself doing. Like this ain't it, you know? And this ain't it. This ain't it for me. This ain't gonna be where I end, you know? And I was looking out the window, and all I seen was tumbleweeds in the backyard and on the side yard and the front yard, everywhere. And I just said, "Look at this! Like it's just so dead here. It's stagnant here. Like I don't feel like my life is progressing here at all. Like I feel like everything the good that could have came from here already came and went. Like I don't feel like there is no advancing here for me. I don't feel like there's nothing bigger and better for me here. I feel like I'm just existing here. Like I just don't feel like I'm doing nothing here. So I just said, I just feel like that tumbleweed. Just look at it, just stuck, just doing nothing, just just sitting there, tumbling all along, just doing nothing, right?